Hi, it's Kim from Expressions of the Universe with your weekly wisdom for November 15th through the 21st. I have cards for all zodiac signs because we have a new moon in Scorpio. Mars went direct. We've got the new moon. Things are moving forward, and I have so much juicy information for you about what's going on in the astrology and in the cards. And I have a surprise for you, viewers that have seen me before, something I haven't done for a little while. And I also have our crystal for the day and for the week, for the week. And it's so perfect. I just really love the synchronicities. And I posted yesterday with the card for Friday and the weekend how perfect the cards always show up at the right time because I pair that with the astrology. And I know I always say that, but it amazes me. And I love how last night in water ceremony, the shaman was talking about, when you've been on a spiritual or light work or path for a really long time, you see the signs, but they just become an everyday part of your life that it's almost ordinary. But a lot of us are starting to see the signs again or new signs. It's almost as like we are re-waking up. I don't know, like she likened it to coming up to a new level. And I love that because, 2020 has been really difficult, but it was all here for us. Nothing was happening to us, it was happening for us. Anyway, where shall I start? So, do I talk about the new moon? So the new moon is in Scorpio at 23 degrees. So 23, it's about our feelings and our beliefs coming together in thought. The Scorpio is that, heavy emotional, deep down, the things that we bury, often our shadow side. So Scorpio was traditionally ruled by Mars, which went direct on November 13th. I'll get into that in a second. But modern astrologers pair Scorpio up with Pluto. So Pluto's been playing such a huge part, wreaking havoc all over the world this whole year. He's not done. I wrote a really extensive blog article. I've been posting a lot on Facebook and Instagram, talking about the different astrological aspects and how it affects us, how we can stay grounded. Last week I used rose quartz because we really needed to stay in our heart space. But yeah, we still need to stay very grounded. So this new moon is coming in on Sunday, November 15th at 12:07 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now in different time zones, and I usually don't write it down, but I did today. So Pacific Standard Time, that would be like Los Angeles and Washington, Oregon, you're getting it at 9:07. I know my friends in Idaho, you're going to be an hour later at 10:07 p.m. on November 14th. So that's why I wrote these down, because some of us have it on the 15th, some of us have it on the 14th. My friends in the UK, 5 a.m. on November 15th. So you're waking up to that new moon. And my friends in the southern hemisphere, in the land down under, in Australia and South Africa, 4:07 p.m. Sunday evening on November 15th. So now you're going to have to do your own time adjustments because it's a very short window. And I wanted to talk about what we do on the new and the full moon. When I talk about void of course moon, that's when the moon is kind of offline. It's switching signs. There are no major aspects to it. That's what makes it void. So this new moon is at 12:07. I don't want to give away my little secret here. I have it hidden in my calendar. But the moon will go void at 6 a.m., 6:13 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then it won't go into Sagittarius until 10:47 a.m. So we have that void. But when the moon is full, say it's at its biggest point like it was 2 weeks ago, every single day it starts to wane or, go down, go down, go down, go down. And it's just really the light of the sun that's shining on it. And we see less of it. And then it goes into that lovely crescent. And then we get the new moon or no moon. As it's waning or going down, that's when we release things. As it is waxing or building back up, so we have this new moon tomorrow. For some of you, it's today. Each day it will start to wax and build back up. So depending on what you're wanting and doing, and you can do both, are you releasing or are you bringing in? Okay, so new moon is generally about bringing in, but the timing is so tricky. And maybe this is why some of your new or full moon wishes have not worked the way that you want. All right, so today, as I'm recording this, today is Saturday, November 14th, and it's early in the morning because I have a lot of readings today that I have to attend to, so I want to get this out. Today, the moon is still waning. It's going down. It's not completely new. Or, and we don't see the new moon in the sky. There's no moon. All right, so as it's going down, this is a time of release. So anything that you want to get rid of, this is the time. You could do a little ceremony. Last night I went to a water ceremony virtually. I haven't been to a water ceremony for a new moon in probably like 5 years. And man, did I release. So it was perfect. Everything that Candy, the shaman, said was so perfect. It aligned with everything that I was picking up yesterday. The synchronicity in that whole ceremony was uncanny. All right, so we're releasing. Tonight we go to bed here for me, 12:07 a.m. Hopefully I'll be asleep. That's when the new moon occurs. And then after that, it starts to wax or build up. So, I'm going to be sleeping during that new moon apex. And then it goes void, of course, at 6:13 a.m. Hopefully my animals, well, really my cat, will let me sleep until then. She had me up at 4:30 this morning. Anyway, I'm not going to do any more ceremony. Like I'll do it during today. I have my gratitude and abundance and laughter Reiki candles burning right now. But I'll wait until the moon moves into Sagittarius at 10:47 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, knowing that the moon is now starting to wax. She's on her journey to building back up. That's when I'm going to start to bring things in. So kind of works the same for the full moon. The full moon is building. Oh, it's 11:11 on the clock right now. Make a wish. As the moon is building up to full, we're bringing things in. And then with the full moon, say the full moon reaches apex, after that full moon, when it starts to wane, go back down, heading in the direction of a new moon, that's when you start to release things. So if anybody has any questions about that, you can message me here because I answer everybody so far. Anyway, Ah, the astrology is crazy too. But before I get into that, look what I have. My little black bag. And I found this today. However, most bizarre thing, I can't find any of my jewelry. Well, here's my necklace, and I do have some earrings on, but I can't find my rings. I can't find any of my bracelets anywhere. I have no idea where it is. I have a really tiny house. Um, I put, I always put everything back exactly where I got it, so I have no clue as to where my stuff is. And that just goes to show you that I really haven't been leaving the house to put any jewelry on. Anyway, let's pull something from my little black bag. Let's see what the theme of this new moon is. Support. Oh, this is perfect. This is really good. Support is really, really good, at least for me, because last night in water ceremony during the journey, um, interesting, my grandmother showed up and she whispered in my ear that some people have not really been supporting me the way that I would like them to be supporting me. That's my Leo moon. Um, and it's been hurtful, and some people have been really disrespectful and dismissive. So she said to me, show me who your, this is something she always said. Sorry, I stopped in the middle. Show me who your friends are, and I'll tell you who you are. And it really made me think about that because, you know, when I was younger, there would be some people that I would hang out with, and she's like, what the hell, Kim? Show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. And it really made me think, like when I came out from this journey, that I've apparently been associating with people that are rude to me and dismissive, disrespectful. And it's because I'm too loving and open. And guess what? I'm going to listen to my grandma. But anyway, we need to be supporting each other. This is about oneness. This is about togetherness. And this is about unity. All right. That's what this moon is bringing. That's what the energy on the planet is asking for. We see so much division and so much separation, especially, with this virus. We're separated from our friends. We're separated from our families. But what if, we're just not seeing, a lot of people aren't seeing that higher purpose of, hey, coming back to our own oneness, and supporting each other in different ways. But, oh, I don't know where I'm going to go with that. Anyway, let's see what I have. Now, the crystal card that I picked for the week, it's not even really a crystal, technically. It's a stone. Where is that? And I love it because, well, oh, all right. I thought it was the moon, but it isn't. It's Jupiter. So eyes are on Jupiter. It's petrified wood. But I thought that was the moon, and I thought, oh, that's so perfect. But it's actually Jupiter. So Jupiter is the planet of abundance. And it's saying more, more, more. I wrote that in my blog. Jupiter and Pluto conjoined yesterday at the volatile degree of 22 degrees. And, Jupiter is saying, okay, death and endings to this, 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 this. And Jupiter's like, yes, more, more, more. So he's just like showering more death, more endings for transformation and new beginnings. And petrified wood is about beginnings. I have a really nice piece of it here. I don't know if you've ever seen petrified wood. Um, so it's in its stone form now, but this was at one time the bark of a tree, a piece of a tree. And the petrified wood reminds me about being frozen in fear. And I think a lot of people are just so frozen in fear about what's going on in the world outside of us instead of like really going within, Scorpio, and tapping into what is good, what is within us, what is alive in us. People are relying so much on outwardly things, information, and people that you're missing the whole bigger picture, so to speak. So I'm going to read the excerpt from the Crystal Ally book about this petrified wood and how it's going to help us. I'm going to set that right here. Okay. And I haven't forgotten, I'm still going to pull cards for all of you. And I have some other cards too. From the Work Your Light deck from Rebecca Campbell and the Star Seed Oracle from Rebecca Campbell. Okay, so what's interesting, so Virgo will be rising. That will be the ascendant for this new moon, which I find interesting because we are really shifting from earth-based society, like that heavy density material, into a lighter area Aquarius. So we are moving into the age of Aquarius, and that is air. This is what 2600 year transit, like when everything starts to shift. But I mean, of course, we're in the age of Pisces now, which is water, and that's emotion tied to religion, tied to governments and structures and everything. But it is very earth-based. If you've been watching me, you know that Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn have been in Capricorn all year. And Saturn and Jupiter are getting ready to exit and move into Aquarius, bringing us new energy. So with this petrified wood, it says, under the roots of an ancient grandmother tree is the source of the universe. So when I started reading that, and I'm thinking about my grandmother last night in my shamanic journey during water ceremony, and I'm like, this is a sign. This is the image of beginnings. Petrified wood, it's a mineral, usually turns to agate, that has replaced the wood of ancient fossilized trees, but it retains their shape, their texture, even their rings and their growing patterns. So like if I look really close, I can see the rings of the tree. You can see all of the patterns. It's pretty fascinating. Trees are the chieftains of the plant kingdom, towering above the earth with their roots sunk deeply into the ground. So this is a reminder of us to stay really grounded. Trees sing to the wind and the sun and learn much of other beings by offering them shelter, food, and safety. And that's what a lot of us are seeking right now. Trees symbolize the deep and ancient beginnings of all things. On their earth walk, they learn much of the beginnings and endings within the spiral of life. They grow from the seeds of their forefathers and fertilize their children with their bodies when they depart. When trees become fossilized, they have turned to stone. So that's about being frozen. Now, it doesn't really talk about it in this, but so frozen in fear over this virus, so frozen in fear over stupid elections, like people fighting over two men that really have nothing to do with us. They don't know our names. Who friggin' cares? It's a playground fight. And that goes for everybody in the world. There's strife and discord everywhere in the world right now. I just want you all to be smart and truly think about the bigger picture and where you fit in. So many of these things that people are upset about do not matter, because if you're a spiritual person, you're living in this other place within yourself. You know what's real. Get back in touch with nature. Turn the television off. Stop watching the news. Stop scrolling. Really get back in touch with who you are. All of us have our roots or beginnings. When we become incarnate and enter the physical world, we choose our parents, our culture, and the ancient memories of our ancestors that will be stored in the DNA in our bodies. It is with these choices that we form the basis for our physical appearance. Okay. The energy of petrified wood enables us to access those beginnings, so that would be tapping back into our roots, our ancestors. Perfect. Which are stored on a cellular level and draw strength and knowledge from our ancestors and our lineage. And if you believe in past lives like I do, you're drawing from all of those different lines, before you, because that stays with us, like in a cellular memory. It's in the Akashic records. All of those lives, us as a soul without this body, that's the essence of us. By exploring the roots and beginnings of our bodies and cultures, we can empower ourselves through the ancient codings of instinct, intuition. We can speak to those who went before and gain the wisdom from them. And that's basically what I was doing last night. In addition to my power animals showing up. So, sometimes you never know who's going to show up. The tried and true always comes. So I had a red fox. I also had a white fox show up. And then I saw this little raccoon walking along the path. I've never had a raccoon in any of my journeys. I saw a snake. There was a deer. And there were other animals around, but the most interesting one I found, besides the raccoon, was this. I knew it was a warbler because, I watch birds. But I don't remember ever seeing, I knew this bird. It landed on my finger and I was talking to it and it was tweeting at me, and I just understood the sweetness of it. And guess what? There's no such bird. It is a warbler, but the variety. So this had a black head and the black throat, kind of like a black-throated warbler, but its entire rest of its body was white. I'm going to see if I can maybe paint it or whatever from memory. But it's part of the black did go down, down his back a little bit. And what the warbler, maybe I still have it on my phone. I don't know. I guess not. The warbler animal totem talks about being recognized for the work that you've done, having the acknowledgement somewhere along the lines like that, So that's part of my Leo moon. Again, is, people with Leo moon, they like to be acknowledged. And I just, it really kind of goes with that whole journey last night when my grandmother specifically told me the names of a couple people that are disrespecting me and dismissing me, in part because I'm not as old as them. So they feel that my words don't hold any wisdom, um, which is ridiculous because age has nothing to do with it. And everything that I say really comes from my heart, but whatever. That's part of my shadow that I'm working on for this new moon. Um, Anyway, your affirmation, this is our root chakra. This is where our safety is. Like root chakra is where you're sitting. It's the color red. You know, it's also earthy tones. Your affirmation is the roots of my experiences nourish me deeply. Um, Petrified wood can also herald a time when you will be taking steps upon a new path. Recognize this new path as a new beginning in your life. Release the old and allow this new direction to establish itself firmly in your life. A new direction is being indicated to you now. And I love that. It's perfect for this new moon. And all right, what else do I have? Signs that I saw yesterday. Bird on a wire. So once again, and this was literal, I was at a funeral yesterday for a friend whose mother had passed. So immediately I think of endings, that Pluto energy, so endings. I wished her blessings on her next journey. Then I saw this bird on the wire and I thought, okay, information and messages are coming through. And I turned on my Pandora and it was playing pop music, which was really weird because although I do listen to, it was like kind of techno pop. I do listen to a really wide variety of music. I was looking more for some punk or alternative music. And so Britney Spears' Work Bitch came on. And I do love that song. So it made me think of, oh, okay, now that Mars is direct, we're getting back to work. We're getting things done. We're moving forward. We're back in action. That's what that said. The next song was Turn It Up. So volume is increasing. That was by Yellow Claw. The next song was S&M by Rihanna featuring Britney Spears. So S&M, Sadist and Masochist. And I was like, okay, we could be going through some really tough times where people are really throwing their shit on us. So that's like how I interpreted that. And then Lizzo came on with Boys. And I'm like, yes, please. I need a boyfriend. I just thought that was really interesting. And I kept hearing in my head the Beatles come together. And that's my theme. So from the Rebecca Campbell Work Your Light deck, this card fell out of the deck. And it's the Ever Unfolding Rose. And it's really beautiful. The Ever Unfolding Rose says, cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. And then this was pretty interesting. The Protection card came up. And it talks about soul retrieval. It says, call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. That soul retrieval from another deck was my card for Friday and this weekend. If you didn't see it, you can read it in my blog at expressionsoftheuniverse.com or at Expressions of the Universe on Facebook and Instagram. It's listed there. We're calling back all of the fractured pieces of ourselves that we left somewhere back in time when we experience loss and trauma, and we're calling that back in now so that we can be whole. It's not pleasant, I'll tell you that. What's interesting is going to that water ceremony yesterday and the release. I cried. I had a really good cry, and it's not something I do often. And then I was looking at Time Hop last night before I went to bed and discovered it's 1 year ago that the full moon in Taurus was this time last year. And I had a soul retrieval from one of my shamans. And it's, I mean, you go through it. You have to feel all the pain that you were pushing away and ignoring. And then once you deal with it and, get it all together, you walk around, you feel freaking fantastic. So it's interesting that I went through a new moon releasing after 1 year ago of that full moon releasing soul retrieval. So everything has come full circle for me. Do you pay attention to, what has happened to you when you planted the seeds on a new moon? So say this new moon in Scorpio, we're planting seeds that will be harvested 6 months from now when the new moon is in Taurus. When we're in Taurus season in May, at the end of April, beginning and into May. Go back through your phone, look at the pictures that you took, or even go through your social media timeline back to that time and see what was going on. When you get to, so like right now, we're in the new moon in Scorpio, okay? So when was the full moon in Scorpio? It was in May, I believe. And I don't know the exact date. Go back to that time and see what you were planning for what's happening right now. And the final card from this deck is birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. That is exactly what we're doing for this new moon, all right? Now, her starseed deck, this fell out of the deck, and I thought I put it back, but then I found it on my living room floor. It is Star Family, and this says, you are a part of a team of souls. Call in support. So isn't that interesting that this came up? Because it goes perfect with this. And then, what was the other card? And then this also came up, Star Keeper. And it says, Cosmic Ancestor, seed the light by staying grounded. So see how all of this fits in so perfectly? Perfect. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, so let me keep these together. And I'm pulling from the Animal Totem deck. Okay, let's see if I told you everything I wanted to. So yeah, with this new moon, Virgo will be rising, or will be the ascendant. And so that is grounded earth energy. It's also about paying attention to details, getting things organized, getting things together. I didn't talk about the actual, what the aspects are this week. But I'm going to pull cards for you, and then if you stick around, because if I would have known, Venus is squaring Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter. Not horrible. If you want to have something square one of your planets, let it be Venus, because Venus is love. However, when Venus is squaring Jupiter, we have a tendency to gluttony and greed. And I have to tell you, when I was having like a little mini meltdown right before Mars went direct, I was feeling the build of all of that energy, and I was feeling the energy of the collective. I was freaking out, and that does not happen often. I took a hot salt bubble bath with essential oils. I had my Reiki candles lit. I smudged myself with Palo Santo, which I do frequently every single day. I burned mugwort. I burned sage. Um, I took a spoonful of raw honey because that's usually really grounding. If you're trying to get yourself grounded, try a spoonful of raw honey. Nothing was working. I am dairy and sugar free, and I went on to Krispy Kreme because I discovered that there's a Krispy Kreme pretty close to here, which I didn't even know. And I had them deliver a dozen assorted Krispy Kreme donuts and 2 bottles of milk. And that was on Thursday. Today is Saturday. I've eaten that entire dozen of donuts all by myself. There were glazed, there were filled, there was a salted caramel. Some had custard, some had cream. OMG. And I ate it all. So, yeah, if I would have seen that Venus is, I didn't even look, squaring Jupiter, I would have been like, oh, okay, well, we're going to have a tendency to overspend, and especially buying things. Hopefully, I caught you before you went out. We're going to be buying really stupid stuff because we're feeling good. We're going to be eating, drinking. This could be a time of people just overindulging in drugs and drink and food and sex. Especially now that Mars is direct. Venus squaring Pluto. She's demanding more love. And that's kind of really, I'm feeling that. I am demanding more love from the people that I find important. So I'm feeling that. And then Venus squaring Saturn, that could be a little depressive because Saturn really wants to put restrictions on things. So like Venus is demanding more love from Pluto and Saturn's like, no, sorry, no more love for you. But then Jupiter's like, yeah, come on, let's go shopping. Let's go out to dinner. Let's have some fun. Let's get a couple cocktails. That's what's going on. Then we have Mercury is opposite of Uranus. So Mercury is in Scorpio. Secrets are coming out. Uranus is our wild card. Expect the unexpected. Mercury's having a conversation with Uranus. Or maybe Uranus is having a conversation with Mercury. Uranus is telling Mercury, leak the secrets. So you could be really watch your mouths because you could be spilling the beans. You could be telling other people's secrets. You could even be talking about the skeletons in your own closet. Expect the unexpected this week. What else? Oh, so we have a delicious new moon. So the new moon is the sun and the moon are right together. They are trining Neptune. Neptune is telling us to dream big. This is really a delicious, juicy new moon. Neptune is appealing to that watery sensitiveness of Scorpio. And it's just allowing Scorpio to take that hot bath, and lay back and luxuriate and, really just dream big, start planning, the beginnings of that petrified wood. What else? Did I miss anything? We have kind of like a minor yod, finger of God, pointing to the North Node. So that is about the truth coming out. And it's activated by what's going on in Capricorn, governments and structures, banking, religion, with the sun and moon pointing to the North Node, asking for the truth to come out. And so I think that's part of the reason why I've gotten the pushback that I have, because people, a lot of people don't want to hear the truth. But what I've said in my blog, in my posts, is tap into your own heart space. Okay. Follow your intuition. If it feels good for you, that's great. Go with that. If something doesn't resonate with you, don't follow the pack. Like follow your intuition. Even if there's something I say that doesn't resonate with you, that's totally fine. Honor yourself and stand in integrity for yourself. But you really have got to turn off the news and kind of put yourselves on like a little bit of a social media diet. Stop looking outside of yourself for the answers, okay? Do what feels good for you. All right, so here we go. Let's see, we're 40 minutes in. I know this is really long. I'm going to see if I can do I'll skip to this part and maybe I'm trying to learn how to put a timestamp in YouTube, so we'll see. Now, you want to pay attention to your sun sign, your rising sign, and your moon sign. All right, so you get 3 cards actually. Well, unless of course, like one of my clients, every single thing is in one sign. And I do have a couple of other clients that they only have, like they may have the same sun and moon with a different rising. So, but anyway, it's still fun. All right, Aries. Oh, Aries. I always think of this as a Libra card. It's Peacock, and it's saying, let it shine. So Aries, suns, risings, and moons. It's time for you to start peacocking. Mars, your ruling planet, is now direct, so it's green light, go. Now you really want to be cautious about being over egotistical, aggressive, angry. Utilize this energy in a positive way. Get out and exercise, clean your house, get the job done, start a new project. So yeah, that's what I'm picking up for the Aries. I know that there's something else. And then also with that Mars going direct, there is a lot of anger on the planet, and just know that it's really grief that you haven't dealt with, and that's where that anger is coming from. This new moon in Scorpio is asking us all to take a look at that shadow so that we can clear it. Okay. Taurus, you have little beaver, and this is about building new foundations. This is about building a stronger, more solid foundation for yourself. This could be, moving to a new home, starting to put away, stockpile essentials, a little nest egg, for come the spring. You're building on new foundations. A lot of the old structure was just not working, so tear it down and start fresh. And my voice is starting to go. Oh. Gemini, hummingbird. So this is about enjoying the sweet nectar of life. This is about paying attention to your ancestors. This is about pointing your compass true north, following your heart. It says be here now. So that's about being absolutely present in the moment. Stop worrying about what happened in the past. Stop trying to think too far ahead into the future, and enjoy right in this moment. Cancers. Oh, mouse spirit. So this is about paying attention to all the tiny details. Reading the contracts, making sure you're aware of what you're getting into, looking for crumbs. Now, crumbs, so this I'm thinking about cleaning the house, like pick up the crumbs so that mice don't come in. And luckily my dogs have been getting the mice that are trying to come in for the winter. It says tend to the small things. And whenever I think of The mouse spirit, you know, we often don't notice these little small things, like go around, check this is a good time of year to check around the house and see, what may need to be repaired and fixed before the change of the season. Also, I'm hearing from my guides is in those small things, don't be so worried about what somebody's saying, but pay attention to what it is that they're not saying. Okay. That's Cancer. Leo. This is Otter Spirit, and Otter Spirit is reminding you that you are never alone. So I know that this has been a really hard time for a lot of people. This is reminding you that, you have your spirit ancestors, you have the people that have come before you on the other side supporting you, and everything happens within perfect timing. This is also talking about opening up your heart and being open and receptive to allowing somebody to come in. Okay? Yeah. Oh, I love that. Love the little otters. Okay, so that's Leo. Virgo. Okay. Virgo. So the new moon has your ruling planet ascending on the rise, like in the forefront, taking that grounded position. You have Seahorse Spirit. This says watch and wait. So even though Mars has gone direct, I think we need to still use, all of us, this is great for all of us, to use a little restraint, watch and wait. Be patient. This is also saying, when we're impetuous, we're usually just, taking low-hanging fruit, taking what's available. Watch and wait for what is perfect for you to show up. Watch and wait. A big decision is going to be coming for you, and your beliefs will be put to the test, is what I'm hearing. Virgo. Libra. Squirrel Spirit. And this is so cute. Whenever I think of the squirrels, it's about being prepared, start preparing, get ready. This says believe in yourself. But you know what? Whenever I see squirrels also, even though they are constantly gathering up nuts and different things and running and putting them in their nest, they're getting ready for the winter here, they still take time out to play. So don't be so serious. Believing in yourself, you will succeed. The squirrels don't take themselves so serious. They get all their work done, but they also find some time for play. You're also, let me see here. I'm hearing for the Libras is get out of your head, okay? Get out of your head. You're overthinking, and our minds are not our bosses. The heart is. All right, Libra, Scorpio. Happy birthday, Scorpios. This is your new moon. And this is what came up in water ceremony last night, this card. And it's Stag Spirit. And this talks about quiet power. This is about stillness. This is coming into your power, embracing that shadow side. And that's a message for all of us. And really working with that shadow side and realizing that every single person has light and shadow, and we have to learn to love that. When we're not, when we're judging other people, when we're not liking what we're seeing, it's because it's reflecting back to us. That's kind of like part of the shadow. This says take the lead. So with this being your new moon, stand in that quiet power of a leader and show the world just how it's done. Okay. And let's see, am I getting other mental decision. So this is really about, telling yourself, convincing yourself that, you're more powerful than your mind keeps telling you. That's what I'm hearing. This is also a revolution within yourself. Sagittarius. Oh, I love this. And you're coming into your birthday season soon. It's frog spirit, and that's all part of new beginnings. It reminds me of spring. It's also transformation. Think about, the tadpole. It goes from egg to tadpole to the frog. This is clear out the clutter, though. So it's time to, especially in this next day, um, get rid of what's no longer serving, Sages. Let's see, what else do I have? This is emotional, little bit of an emotional time, and but I do think it's beautiful. It's like one of my fave cards. Capricorns. Oh, this is something that doesn't come up often. Wombat spirit, and it says be at home. And when I think of that, I think about Mother Wombat. And, they're very welcoming. They're great hosts. They will share their homes with other creatures as long as nobody messes with their babies. But this is talking about, fluffing up the nest, preparing your nest, getting your personal house and your physical house in order, getting ready for your birthday period, making the decision to open your heart and your home. Now, I know we're in COVID, so, we're not really having too many big parties, but this is talking about being a good hostess, being hospitable, being warm and open, okay? Because I think a lot of Capricorns get that bad rap of, being so stoic and serious. And I've got to tell you, I have some of my funniest friends are Capricorns. You would never know it unless you got to know them, but allow that exterior to come down a lot, So I know Capricorn suns, risings, and moons going through a lot of changes. Be open to all possibilities. Be at home within yourself. Aquarius, hawk spirit. This is about seeing the bigger picture for sure. It said, let spirit be your guide. Aquarius, you're going to be playing a huge role over the next 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Actually, a couple millennia. Big highlight on Aquarius, but you need to rise above this incoming energy because it could be overload. You want to see that bigger picture. Let this hawk be your guide. Like, always take the high road. Always think of the best possible answer. I'm hearing this is about your beliefs and your feelings and what you're thinking about situations, about yourself. That's interesting. So, and I'm just being reminded that a month from now, Aquariuses are really going to get an overload of energy. So really tap into spirit. Birds, I feel, are messengers of the angels. They tap us into the divine. And so this is your time to like really get in with it and start rising above the fray, the crap. And yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of getting like weird messages with Aquarius. Let spirit be your guide. This is basically just saying to me, I have to come back to this. Stay in your heart space, tap into your intuition, follow your instincts, and go with what feels good to you. If it resonates with you, great. If it doesn't, then great. Don't follow that. And last but not least, Pisces, suns, risings, and moons. Whew. Okay, and the new moon is in your sister Scorpio sign, and you have Panther spirit. This is Mother Jaguar, Adorango. It's saying reclaim your power. And Pisces do have a tendency to give away their power for love and acceptance. And this is asking you to take it back. I really want the Pisces suns, risings, and moons to take a look at that soul retrieval card about reclaiming those broken pieces of yourself, claiming, pulling back in that power. The card that I pulled here. Oh, where is it? Where are those women? The protection card that came up that says, call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. Definitely goes. So take back your power. What else do I have? This is about you finding your true place of belonging. Stop trying to fit in, Pisces. Just for the sake of, trying to be part of the crowd or be accepted. That's part of this issue. Find your true place of belonging, even if it's just one person. That's enough. Or even if it's just yourself, that's enough. I'm so tired of thinking I resonate with someone because we have something in common, and then you find out you have nothing else in common with that person. Just be really discerning, all of you. I think that's all I have. We're almost at an hour. Holy smokes. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please share it with your friends. Like the video, dislike the video. Comment me if you have questions. I'm always willing to answer. I love reading your comments. Check me out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, Twitter, and my website, expressionsoftheuniverse.com. And now I'm off to do my readings for the day. I think I may have two time slots left in this month. I'm not even sure, but I will be at Solutions for Daily Living in Newtown twice a month. So take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.